Hello, everyone. Coming up here, you see from last week's SmackDown, you saw Randy Orton had a surprise attack Cody Rhodes and left Cody Rhodes out and about, down to the count from the WWE champion by the number one contender for the WWE title. After Randy Orton's shocking attack on Cody Rhodes last week, Randy Orton will explain his vicious ambush on SmackDown. We'll see that coming up, as well as this right here. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, these two men have no love lost for each other neither. They're going to be set for a wild showdown. We'll see what wild showdown did come up and why this kind of happened at the end of tonight's SmackDown. You won't believe that. Coming up as well in tag team action, the Old City Machine Guns takes on Fraxmill one-on-one, that tag team competition, as well as entertainer superstar Jelly Roll returns to SmackDown. Jelly Roll looks to confront Kit Briscoe looks to confront Jelly Roll. What's going on with that? Why he's confronting Jelly Roll? Let's see. In our main event, the WWE Women's Tag Team titles are on the line. As you can tell right here when we get the WWE Women's Tag Team titles are on the line. That's the Bella Twins. Show the Bella Twins right quick, please. The Bella Twins challenge the Irresistible Force of Lash Legend Nia Jax for the Women's Tag Team title. We'll see that coming up as we get the SmackDown ring for started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Lag and join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling. All right. I'm not wasting no time whatsoever. Let's start it. Pro Wrestling Show. Let's get it started. All right, we cut that music off. Also, speaking of Randy and Cody Rhodes, they were in the stable of legacy, especially with this man right here, Ted DiBiase, who was in a welfare trial. We'll get to that a little bit later on and how he got acquitted a little bit later on in the program. All right, let's get started right here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We're a lot to unpack. Let's get it unpacking right here, right now. We told you Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre might be set on a collision course. Jacob blames Drew for taking him out of action. Drew blames Jacob for costing him the WWE Championship away from Cody Rhodes. And Drew wanted to get some revenge. And tonight it was that. Throughout the whole entire show, both men literally beat the holy, you know what? You said Drew and Jacob beating the heck out of each other. It even went from the parking lot brawl to inside the arena as well. So we've seen a lot going on with Drew and Jacob. Even Jacob trying to beat down Drew the best way he can. I think this is going to be a WrestleMania match. We're just going to probably see them in a Las Vegas street fight. You see Jacob Fatu want to get his hands on Drew so bad. Even officials and everybody else can't stop him. Well, throughout the following end of the SmackDown, we see both men fighting each other. Even went to the saw the general manager Adam Pearce and the referees try to stop it, but they couldn't stop it. Both men took each other down to looks like a hard concrete wall or something, and that's what happened. So this is far from over between these two. Hopefully they are okay, because we just don't know how the situation is going to occur and how worse it's going to be moving forward. But we'll keep a very close eye on that, because Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. We know they don't like each other's guts, but if it got to end like that, ooh, it's got to be nasty. But hopefully they're all okay. We pray that everything is okay. Jacob Fatu. Okay. We hope everything's okay for Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. All right, we move on to that story, to this right here. It looks like we got new tag team champions, new WWE tag team champions, and they are R-Truth and Damian Priest. Truth and Priest are now the new tag team champions of the WWE, winning the WWE tag team titles. So Jacob, Truth and Print and Damian hold the gold in the tag team division, defeating Solo Sikoa and his team. A lot of problems going on with Solo as of late. Hopefully, Solo and his team can get back on the same track, because they're gonna need it moving forward. So we'll see. But R-Truth Damian defeated Solo and Tamatonga for the tag team titles. Wow. They just won it a couple of weeks ago. That's crazy on SmackDown. A couple of weeks ago, winning the tag team titles. Now, Damian and Truth are the tag team champions. So that's crazy. Damian Priest and R-Truth win tag team gold. How crazy is that? So how crazy that could be. Them winning. Win tag team gold. All right. We move on to that situation. To another situation. The U.S. Championship was on the line. It's Carmelo Hayes defending the U.S. title against a longtime friend and foe, Dragunov. Carmelo gave it all he got. Carmelo retains the United States Championship over Dragunov. What a match that was. And well, it looks like Danhausen continue his cursing way and trying to put curse on people. Even Candace want to curse on. I'm going to Danhausen to uncurse. Danhausen said he'll see what he can do. When they by Danhausen, he already starting with a bang coming. I'm gonna make a claim of her. Danhausen coming with that. Also, too, we know the WWE Women's Championship is about to heat up. Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. The Rhea Ripley said Jade doesn't have a personality, doesn't know what she wants in life. Also, know what she know. Well, Jade came out there and confronted Rhea, but Rhea was about to come out there and thought she was gonna get backup from B-Fab and Mission, but it was all ruse. Well, B-Fab Mission, what I had expected that they was gonna join with Jade. They call themselves the baddest. Now Jade, they say you can't beat them, join them. That would be Fab and Mixin did. They wanted to join Jade or get that rub and stuff. And what went down, so it was like they're gonna be the goons with the women's champion. The women's champion already found her some new goons in WWE, like she did in AEW. Now the women's champion Jade Cargill. It's like she's gonna have a fight in her hands coming up against Rhea Ripley, setting up Rhea Ripley for the bait. And Rhea Ripley fell for the bait as well as she did. But WrestleMania is gonna be a different story coming up on what's gonna go down. So we'll see how that's gonna play out through the whole situation. We'll see. But Sami Zayn was in action as well. Sami Zayn, against Aleister Black. Sami Zayn lost his match, even to the point that Sami Zayn had snapped. And Sami Zayn went after Trick Williams and beat Trick Williams up. And Trick Williams trying to provide distraction. Him just told him up. What had happened? Sami Zayn and Trick Williams might have a match at WrestleMania. Looking forward to seeing that, but Trick Williams out there providing commentary, giving Sammy the distraction of what went down. Also, too, the machine guns was in action against Axiom. What a match that was. The machine guns getting the victory as well. Chris Sabin rolled up. What got his name? Get the win. I don't know if the machine gun's gonna turn heel or not, but they won. I think. Looks like they're gonna be turning heel. See what the machine gun's gonna do. Moving forward. Well, speaking of that, it looks like Kit Wilson has an issue with Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson had their confrontation, even to the point that Jelly Roll took Kit Wilson. Tell right here, Jelly Roll getting beat up by Kit Wilson. That's crazy. Jelly Roll did the Kit Wilson, even to the point that like Jelly Roll trying to be an active wrestler. Jelly Roll was trying to get Kit Wilson to kind of understand what was going on, but Kit Wilson wasn't hearing all that. Kit Wilson and Pat Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll down. We see Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson, they're gonna have a WrestleMania match. I guarantee you. I'll tell you that right now. We'll see that. But Jelly Roll was so banged up that he asked Adam Pearce, the Nick Aldis, the general manager, for a match against Kit Wilson. And the general manager obliged and gave Jelly Roll that match. So we're gonna see that match coming up next week on SmackDown. Jelly Roll will get his hands on Kit Wilson next week on SmackDown. We'll see that match as well. Speaking of that, Jelly Roll ran into SummerSlam partner Randy Orton. Jelly Roll telling Randy Orton to make peace with Matt Cardona. It's never too late. You think Randy Orton was gonna do that? No. Randy Orton was talking to somebody in the back on his phone. Everybody's still wondering who could it be that Randy Orton was talking to. How everyone's trying to put two and two together. People think it might be Randy Orton's friend. People think it's Shane McMahon. So a lot of people are trying to speculate who Randy Orton was talking to, but we will have to wait and see. Well, speaking of that, the Irresistible Forces defended the their tag team titles against the legendary Bella Twins. It all, you know what, broke loose throughout. It broke loose, all right. You can see right here, the Bella Twins, like Charlotte and Alexa, got involved as well. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss got involved, and it turned chaotic when it got really, really hectic throughout the whole entire match. So the Irresistible Forces retained their tag team championships, but left a lot of damage throughout the whole entire ring throughout on SmackDown tonight, leaving Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki and Brie laid out in the middle of the ring by the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jackson, Last Legend. Well, we get to the segment of the night. We told you Randy Orton looks like he wanted to Randy Orton was trying to get tell why he did what he did. He told it, but Randy Orton was trying to get right attention. Even the fans, they turning heel. Fans are turning heel and everything else, but Randy Orton said he has to win that 15th championship match, win, and he has to do it. Well, Randy Orton wanted to make amends with with Matt Cardona and tell Matt Cardona that he was going to say he was sorry. It was nothing but a blatant attack by Randy Orton. Randy Orton blatantly attacked Matt Cardona by kicking him in the crotch. He shook his hand and then kicked him in the crotch and left him out laying. And then Randy Orton breaking Matt Cardona the same way he did Cody Rhodes by laying him out as well. So Matt Cardona and Randy Orton might have a match before WrestleMania. Look for that, seeing that. But that kind of ended SmackDown. Randy Orton snapping again like he did almost 15 years ago, 20 years ago at least. 09 Randy Orton. So we've seen that Randy Orton hearing voices in his head like always. He left that look to Matt Cardona. All right, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. Well, Wrestling Hot Topics. I want to talk about this right here. It looks like Ted DiBiase, who knows Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, he was the stablemate of theirs in Legacy. Well, Ted DiBiase was acquitted from his welfare child in fraud. Let's look at what's going on with DiBiase right here, right now. All right, you heard from Ted DiBiase Jr. on what's going on. He's acquitted from his welfare trial. Don't forget, one day we will have a pro wrestling show special, perhaps following Ted DiBiase Jr. on his welfare trial and his trial out. So it'll probably come out during WrestleMania week. So look for that coming up your way soon. Also, too, speaking of that, we lost the entertainment world has lost a huge giant, and this man right here, Chuck Norris, real revered and respected. Chuck Norris, a star of Walker's Texas Ranger, and a star of other movies, including his the movie he did with Bruce Lee, before Bruce Lee passed away. Chuck Norris, man, man, he was 86 years old, and Chuck Norris lived his life the way on his terms. So who can forget? He made a WWE appearance, a wrestling appearance, a WWE appearance at Survivor Series 1994 when it was The Undertaker taking on Yokozuna in a casket match, and Chuck Norris was the special guest enforcer. And Chuck Norris that night uh, super kicked Jeff Jarrett. I know Jeff Jarrett's going to talk about it on his podcast probably next week to discuss Chuck Norris' impact on wrestling the way he did in 1994. So we wanted to tell Chuck Norris and his family and his friends, rest in peace, sir. Brought a lot of entertainment, and thank you once again. All right, we're gonna do it here for the Pro Wrestling Show for the SmackDown Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dix, saying so long. We'll see you Monday for the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.